I kind of feel I need a drum roll, but I haven't got one. But I'm on a green screen, so maybe somebody can put a drum roll in. We've been talking about something I want to tell you for a while now, and we haven't been able to. But guess what? Those of you that have followed us, and thank you, because without you from the off, Ollie wouldn't exist, will know that I had a dream to get to every child and young adult, and to adult, with a method, a morphology, therapeutic morphology that meant they weren't dependent on us, that they could take what we did and not need us, which is not the best business plan, but it's the right thing to do. We're in schools, we did it. Whoa! We're working for alternative provision, we did it. We're working in the SEN world. We're working with fostering adoption. All of those things. And yes, I was ecstatic. It's a hell of an achievement. But it still wasn't there. There was one more place I wanted to work. And that was the NHS. Well, the NHS, understandably, have to tick boxes 10 times over before they'll include anything for their patients. They need to make sure that it's evidence-based, it's measurable, it's scalable, it's financially, all of that. Believe me, we've been jumping through hoops of fire for years. But finally, this year, we got commissioned. They were actually paid to do it. To do a trial for some GP practices in the Midlands. And they gave us some clients. Did you know this, right? You know we all have trouble getting hold of a GP at the moment. One of the reasons, I didn't know this, 40% of their waiting list isn't medical. It's mental health. What are they going to do? Bless them. It's clogging the system up. Anyway, they invited us, they commissioned us to do this trial. Low-level anxiety and low-level issues. None of the what I call white coat stuff, bipolar, schizophrenia, fine. There's people that are good at that. We had a time period. They were expecting, if we were good, maybe a 10-15% improvement in their patients' measurables. Not only did we complete all of their patients in the period they gave us, that they ended up giving us a load more, and believe me, it wasn't just low-level anxiety. We had self-harming, we had suicide, we had, you name it, we had it. It was thrown at us. We achieved a 61% improvement. And those clients haven't had to come back to the GP for meds and clam up the waiting list. And the other lovely thing that happened was we became a triage by default, because a lot of those guys didn't actually need medication. They didn't need a GP, and arguably they didn't need therapy. All they needed was some help and some support and some direction and guidance. So we became a triage where we were able to signpost them to the services they did really require. Maybe that was housing, maybe that was financial support, maybe it was parenting. Things that they needed that were creating that anxiety. But we now have a signed off trial for the NHS that went beyond their expectations, not beyond mine, or maybe a little behind mine. We did good. Which means I can now reach out to GP practices all over the UK with this trial, with the measurables, with the evidence-based statistics, and say, here we are, let us help. So that's what I've been longing to tell you. This is what I've been aiming at. We've got the badge I wanted.